Um, so today we're going to be talking about meal prep. And for those of you who don't know me yet, I am Theresa Zangerle-McArtin. I'm the registered dietitian here at Premier Medical Group. And I talk a lot about meal prep. If any of you have seen me as a patient, you'll know that, we talk about this a lot. And one of the big things I stress is let's make meal prep easy. And I feel like this picture here kind of shows what a lot of like people blog about or like YouTube videos and things like that of how perfect and pretty meal prep could be. And I think we all long to do this and we all long to kind of really drive that in and say, okay, I want to do this. I want to be this person who can produce this every week. But life is crazy, right? We all have different things going on, whether it be work, kids, events, what have you, right? There's always something that's going to drive us potentially away from doing things like this. And I'm sorry, I have a little bit of a cold, so I might be coughing and sneezing during this, so I do apologize. But we all do strive to do this, but this doesn't have to be what meal prep is. It doesn't always have to look pretty, and it can sometimes we just need to get down and dirty of meal prep and see what we have to do. So today we're going to kind of go through that. I'm going to talk you through that with a few slides. And then I did record a video of myself cooking in my kitchen with the help of my husband who helped me record it. And I hope you guys like it. It was my I haven't done a lot of those ones recently, so we're hopefully get better at them. It could produce more in the future. But it'll show you how I do my meal prep. Now, to give you a little bit of background for those of you who don't know, I am a mom. I have three kids. I have kids in sports, kids in travel sports. I work, like I have a dog, like my husband works, so we're always crazy. We're always doing stuff. We're always on the go, and I always have to have meals ready. And I have a 14-year-old, so I have to have three meals ready for him at night, for dinner. So what I want to do is I want to make it as simple as possible for myself. So we're going to talk about how we can do that and not have maybe some chef skills involved if we don't feel like we have that ability in the kitchen, okay? So this is my version of meal prep made easy. Okay. Come on. Oh, there we go. All right. So let's talk. Why do we meal prep? Why do we want to meal prep? What are the advantages of meal prepping, right? Well, fewer last minute decisions. First and foremost, right? I always tell everybody that the worst thing we can do is have a busy, busy day. We got up early, maybe we hit the gym, then we went to work, ended the workday, get home, we open the fridge and nothing's there. Then what do? I pick up my phone, I call the local pizza place and we order pizza, right? Or the story of we order Chinese food, or we order Chipotle, or we order this, we order that, and it's always ordering out, right? So last minute decisions sometimes means that we're not making the best decision for our health, okay, or our health goals. So we want to make the best decisions for our health and for our health goals. Let me move that. The other thing is balanced meals without overthinking. Now, the one complaint I get sometimes about meal prep is people are like, I'm constantly thinking about food. I feel like I wake up in the morning and I have to think about, well, what am I going to have for lunch? What am I going to have for breakfast? What am I going to have for dinner? Will my kids eat it? Will my husband eat it? Do I have to make two meals? And it's all of these thoughts around food. Okay. And it's just ever revolving. And for somebody who's sometimes trying to lose weight and say no to things, it's almost hard at that point. It becomes more difficult. And that's a barrier, right? And we want to break those barriers up. We don't want to have those barriers. So what I like to say is we want a balanced meal, but I don't want to have to overthink it. I want to make it pretty simple and easy, right? We don't want to have stress. Why? Life is stressful enough. We don't need more stress in life. So this should not be the thing that is stressing you out. And it's going to work even if you don't like cooking. So my meal prep ideas are something they're not full recipes. Again, it's quick, down and dirty. So we're going to see that today, okay? Okay. So for our mindset, what we have to think about is that you don't need full pre-made meals all the time. We're going to be focusing on the components of the meal, not the recipes, okay? So this is to kind of give you just, again, basics. We need the basics. We need the backbone of what this is going to be. And it's okay if things sometimes repeat themselves. Now, I don't want rigidity and to only eat these same things over and over again, but it's okay if for some reason, like we're going to have two of the same things or three of the same things in a week or similar items. That's okay. Or if the protein is the same. And we're going to get into what that really means, right? Because we want to look at this as this is something that's going to give less stress in our life. It's going to make my life easier and it's going to break down that barrier in order for me to meet my health goals and my family's health goals. So that's what we're looking at. Okay. What do we got to start off with? Of course, a grocery list, right? The grocery list is at the heart of it all. So we want to make sure that we're building our grocery list appropriately. So we got to start with five different categories, right? Because that's kind of really what this meal prep thing is all about is how do we build this grocery list to make it that I can go to the grocery store, I can get my stuff, I can bring it home, and I can cook all this stuff in a pretty simple, pretty small amount of time and not spend 5 hours on Sunday in the kitchen trying to meal prep because a lot of us don't have that time. Okay. So we're going to look at the five categories. We have protein, all right? Protein always to me is the backbone of the meal. It's if I have a protein, I can get the meal on the plate, right? So we want to have a protein. We want to have a vegetable. Now you're going to see how I'm going to talk about vegetables a little bit different. They don't have to be the pretty vegetables that are on some of these meal prep plates. We can make it quick and easy. We want to have our carbohydrate, but for those of me who know me very well now, I talk about smart carbs, okay? I talk about carbs that give us more nutritional value. Now, again, you want to have your pasta, that's fine. You want to have, this is all about meal prep and getting the food on the plate and making it a balanced meal. But we are going to kind of bring in how can we make those smart carbs a little bit easier. And I'm going to talk about, I'll show you what I use in my video to get some of the carbs on my plate for my family, especially the kind of ones that are a little bit not complicated, but sometimes we feel like we're afraid of them. We don't know how to cook them. You'll see in the beginning of my video that I'll talk about using a rice cooker a lot. I use that for quinoa. I use that for brown rice. I use that for wild rice. Sometimes regular rice too, right? But I use that, and that's a big staple in my kitchen because it makes it that I can put something on, set it, and forget it. So we'll talk about that later. We need our healthy fats, right? We need our oils, our olives, our avocados, our nuts. We need all of that good stuff. So how are we going to incorporate it, right? And we need our flavor boosters. These are the fun things in here. These are the things that really enhance it, but doesn't we don't have to do all of that work in it, okay? So protein. Protein is the anchor of our meal. All right. So we're thinking chicken breast or chicken thighs. Okay. I'm thinking ground turkey or ground beef. Okay. I'm thinking eggs. I'm thinking Greek yogurt or cottage cheese, tofu or tempeh, right? Canned tuna or salmon. And we want 2 to 3 options a week. So, how we're building this isn't that you're making a protein every day. I want you to be able to maybe make a chicken. And then maybe one day we're going to have it say, grilled chicken. Maybe you made chicken breast, right? Grilled chicken over mixed greens. Maybe the next day you had it grilled chicken with some quinoa that you made and some broccoli, right? So we're going to utilize those proteins throughout the week and maybe make it into different meals. The protein will be repetitive, but the meal doesn't have to be, or it can be if you need that, but it does not have to be that way, okay? And we're thinking about eggs. I always say, you like hard-boiled eggs? It's a great snack. It's a great breakfast. Boil some up. You can put it on your salad at lunch if you want, or put it in like a bento box if that's what you're choosing. But they're great to have on hand, and they really don't take too much time except for peeling. You gotta be a little bit good at peeling the hard-boiled eggs, but they're quick and they're easy. Okay, so it's always good to have them on hand as well. Um, Greek yogurt and cottage cheese, I like them because I feel they're grab and goes. Sometimes we're looking for that grab and go. So if we need to build a meal for breakfast, right? And we're like, all right, I got to get out the door. I didn't meal prep today. Well, if I have a Greek yogurt in the fridge, I know I could grab that, right? Or if I have a cottage cheese in the fridge, I know I could grab that. I know I could pull down some nuts for my healthy fat with it. I know I could probably take out some berries or an apple or whatever fruit you want. And I can kind of go to work knowing I have a breakfast. I have something that was quick and easy and I can pull it out of the fridge. Okay. So that's what we're looking for. Canned tuna and canned salmon. I mean, you can't get any easier than that, right? It's something that's in your pantry and you can pull out and you can make tuna salad. You want to make it a little healthier? Well, instead of making it with mayonnaise, make it with a mashed up avocado. You can do this and make it very, very easy and quick, but we don't want to overcomplicate it, right? It's not that we have to sit there and we have to make curry, tuna salad. No, just make some regular plain tuna salad and get it on the plate. If you have the time to jazz it up, do that. But if you don't, that's okay. So our goal is to aim for 2 to 3 options of this per week. And really, it depends upon how repetitive, again, you want to be. If you don't want to be that repetitive, like you can cook 1 to 2 of them and that's fine. But 2 to 3 options a week is pretty good, especially too when you're considering breakfast. You don't want to have eggs every day, then you may want to have a Greek yogurt or cottage cheese on hand to kind of like offset it a little bit. And then maybe like some chicken breast that you're utilizing, for lunch. So it's just you have to kind of play around with it. Excuse me. Vegetables. Mix fresh and frozen. So here's my deal with this, right? It doesn't have to be these great roasted vegetables that I put in my oven and I roasted them on 400 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes. They're nice and pretty. Maybe I didn't have the time to do that. That's okay. I like the steam in the bags. I always say like they're my lifesaver on busy nights. You can get a steam in a bag and you can have it ready in 4 minutes. You can't get any easier. But if you wanted to, you could do fresh vegetables and, saute them real quick on the stove at night. That would be something that you could do as well. So the vegetables, they don't have to be complicated. The easiest one too is if you want salad, salad stuff, they sell the bag salad mixes with everything in it. Open the bag, rinse it, put it on the plate. Like really can't get any easier than this. So when we're talking about meal prep, sometimes we want to shy away from things and don't shy away from some of the convenience things that really aren't adding any negative effects to the food, right? They have vegetables that are already cut up for you. If you want to do zucchini, they have it done for you. If you want to do a butternut squash, it's done for you and cut up for you already. That takes an extra step out and will save you time in the kitchen. So, you have to just kind of see where you want to be in this. Do you want to prep everything ahead of time, have a mix of everything, or do it where it's kind of somewhat done for you? So, I always say whatever's easier for you, but utilize some of the convenience stuff, especially the stuff that's really not adding any negative things to it. Grains and starches. Keep it simple. Try to stick to smart carbs, right? So rice, brown or wild, or quinoa, potatoes or sweet potatoes, oats, beans or lentils. If you want to do pasta, you cook pasta ahead of time too. Here's my thing with my carbs is I try to cook it once and then you have it all week. Okay. So maybe I'm cooking it on Monday and I'll have it and maybe I'll stop having it by Wednesday and then I'll cook another batch of something again and then I have it the rest of the week for our family. Um, Beans or something too and lentils. Like I was just talking to somebody today about it. And we were trying to plan a budget-friendly grocery list. And we built this big budget-friendly grocery list. And one of the things we talked about was bagged beans compared to using canned beans, right? Canned beans are over $1 a pop now, unless you get them on sale. A bag of beans is $1, and you'll get a slew of meals out of it. You soak them overnight and you cook them. If you have a pressure cooker, like a Ninja food, like those foodie things, like you literally can make beans in, I think I made them in 20 minutes from start to finish. That's with the warm up and the steam release. Um, what's great about that is that if you make a big batch, okay, I freeze them. So I cook them. and then I put them in containers. I'll put them in quart containers and I stick it in the freezer and then I can just pull them out as we want them. Most of the time, I know my family, we love stewed beans. It's a very big part of our meals. And what I do then is I just pull them out and I season them as we want that night to go with the meal. But the beans are technically done already. So it's quick, it's easy, it's cheap. Can't get cheaper than like $1 to $1.50 a bit for a big bag of beans, and you get like 6 servings out of it. It's great. Potatoes and sweet potatoes. You're gonna see something in what I did in the meal prep video, and I don't cut them on the scene because you're gonna see that I have it prepped already. One of the things I like to do is sometimes plan out that if I need a lot of stuff cut for the week, and it's stuff I know that won't brown, that won't get all, gross, I'll cut it up ahead of time and then I can just pull the bags out. So if I want onions and peppers and I know like tomorrow I'm gonna make saute, fajitas and I need onions and peppers for it. And then maybe I know the next day I'm gonna need sweet potatoes. Well, on if I have time on a Monday, I may say I'm gonna cut up everything now and I'm gonna put it in Ziploc bags, stick it in the fridge, and then when I need them, I can just pull them out. Okay. So meal prep is whatever you want. It doesn't have to necessarily mean that you're making everything ahead of time. Okay. It can mean that you have it prepped ahead of time and maybe you don't want to, then you want to cook it that night. So again, it's what meal prep means to you, and for everybody, it's going to be different. Oats are a great thing to have on hand. They have the, steel cut oats, they have the quick cut oats, they have the regular rolled oats. Whatever way you like it is fine. Um, but what I always say is with the oats, don't just have oatmeal for breakfast. We want protein in it too. So whether you're putting a scoop of protein powder, whether you're putting yogurt in it, whether you're putting peanut butter in it, whether you're putting PP2 powder in it, whether you're putting seeds and nuts in it, where is your protein in that meal? So remember, it's everything is we're always thinking about protein. That's kind of building off our last lesson, I think, of clean eating and whole foods eating, right? So it's still the same. We still want the protein and we want to think of how can we get that protein. Healthy fats, olive oil or avocado oil, avocados, nuts and seeds, hummus or tahini. These are all healthy fats that we definitely want to put into our diet. Olive oil and avocado oil, I use both of them for cooking. Avocado oil, more of a high heat. Olive oil is more of if it's a quick stir fry or if it's a quick saute, I mean, or if it's going on a salad. Avocados I utilize all the time. I love it. Actually, too, if you want to get really simple, they have Holy, I think, believe it's Holy Avocado, has little avocado cups. The only thing in it is avocado and citric acid. That's it. Nothing else. What's great is that they don't brown and you can put it on your salad. It's not guacamole, it is just avocado. They have one in a squeeze bottle too, if you like. So it's really your preference, but that is a quick and easy way that I don't have to worry about. I have an avocado, I'm only using half an avocado. The other half is gonna brown. What I do, I don't want to throw it out, like those types of things. Nuts and seeds, hummus or tahini hummus. You don't have to make it. Maybe I'll make a video eventually too of how to make a quick and easy hummus. I do that a lot. But you don't have to make it. They sell them. Most of them are normally very, very, very good. So you can utilize that. Flavor enhancers. This is the fun stuff. This is the stuff that makes the meal fun. Okay. So it doesn't have to be just grilled chicken and broccoli. Like we can add salsa, we can do pesto, we can do soy sauce or coconut aminos. You can do mustard, you could do lemon and garlic and herbs, spice blends. The flavor changes everything, right? So you could have chicken that you made and you made it ahead of time, and maybe it's for three different things, but maybe now you're gonna do chicken fajitas one night, so you're gonna put salsa on it. And then maybe the next night you're gonna throw it in with your stir fry you're making on the stove with some broccoli and onion and peppers and put soy sauce in it or the aminos in it. Or maybe another night you're gonna put some lemon and garlic and herbs on it. So that make it fun, make it yours, and make it the flavors that you know you and your family are gonna eat. Because if you try all these new things, there's nothing more frustrating than trying all these new things, putting something on the table, and everybody going, "Ugh, I'm not gonna eat that." I mean, there's nothing more frustrating than that, right? Whether it be your kids or your spouse or your loved ones and them going, I'm not going to eat it. It's like, well, now I just spent all this time in this kitchen and now nobody wants to eat. Now I just wasted time and money, right? So we don't want to do that. So make it that it's going to be something that everybody will eat, including you. Now, There's no technique needed, okay? Sometimes how we can think of this is batch cook once, roast a tray of veggies, cook a pot of grains, brown a protein in a skillet, and mix it, match it all week, like we just talked about, right? So, one of the big things we have to think about is that we think we have to be the next top chef to be in the kitchen to do this. No, we don't have to be the next top chef to be in the kitchen to do this. This is easy. Do we have to have some, you have to use a knife? Yes, but if you buy the stuff already cut up, you really don't have to use a knife. So you have to do what's on your comfort level. But you do not have to be the most skilled person in the world in the kitchen in order to do this. Okay. And um, so there's a formula that I use. Okay. The formula is always where's my protein? Where's my veggies? Where's my oil? And what am I doing for seasoning? You're going to see in my video that everything I put in, I'll put three different things in there in my oven. And I roast them all at 400. Okay. They come out at different times, but they're all roasted at the same temp. Okay. Minimal dishes, maximum payoff because it's quick, it's easy, it's all done at once. It's put in the oven, comes out, and it's done. The formula method really works, okay? Now, how I get away with this, you'll see in the video too, is that I utilize my rice cooker. I can't speak highly of it enough. I even talk about it in the video that if I ever didn't have one, I would probably when I one broke recently and I sent my husband to the store, I think the next day to go get it because that's how much I do utilize it. And they're fairly inexpensive. So highly, highly recommend it. Okay. Prep, grab, and go items. So we talked about having that yogurt, having that cottage cheese, having the hard-boiled egg, having fruit done for you, washed and chopped, right? Having maybe protein muffins or egg bites ready for you, done. So that way you do not have to worry about what am I taking for a snack. Or I have plenty of people that we've talked and we've from grab and go items made a breakfast very easily. Okay. And we talked about that a little, a few slides ago. It's very, very possible to do this. Um, use your freezer. Freeze cooked rice in portions, freeze soups or chili, keep frozen veggies and proteins on hand. Meal prep doesn't have to happen every week. So, especially, I know we went through winter and none of us want to think about winter anymore because it was a long one this year. And we all are looking forward to probably next week of the temperatures being in the 50s and 60s. Um, but I can tell you one of the things we do have to realize is that utilize what's in the freezer. Freeze some stuff. You make a soup, make a batch of it and freeze it. You make chili, make a batch of it and freeze it. Those freeze very, very, very well. You can freeze proteins. I've done that before, so that way it's quick pull out. I do that a lot for my son when he's on the go, so that way I can quick pull something out and make something for him. So I do a lot of batch cooking. Frozen veggies, like we talked about, have that ready to go. Okay. So that way you come home, even if it's a night that's this crazy, I always say, right? This crazy where maybe we're gonna go get a rotisserie chicken from the store. And it's like, all right, well, I don't want to stop here. I don't want to sit there. I'm gonna go grab a chicken from the store. You go get a chicken from the store. And then you go, all right, what am I gonna have with it? Well, if you already batch cooked, your quinoa or your potatoes or your rice, whatever it is. Well, you're like, I have my starch at home. And then I have a bag of frozen broccoli in the fridge. You have a whole meal to go on the table already. So please, please, please think of that. Okay, that you can do this a little bit easier. Okay. Mix and match meals, right? So any meal equals protein, veg, and carb, fat, and flavor, right? So examples could be like chicken, roasted broccoli, rice, olive oil, and pesto, eggs, spinach, potatoes, and avocado, ground turkey, peppers, quinoa, and salsa. It's the same ingredient. We're using it in different meals. So like that's what you want to think about is like how can we utilize things differently, but how also can we make it that it's gonna last throughout the week and we won't get bored from it. So mix and match is always good. Always keep it balanced, right? We have a weekly reset checklist, right? So every week we should always go, What are my 2 to 3 proteins I'm getting? What are my 2 vegetables I'm getting? What's my carb? What are my sauces that I need? Maybe I don't need any sauces this week because I still have them from last week or the week before. Um, and when is my prep going to happen? So is my prep going to happen on Sundays? Is my prep going to happen twice in the week? Is my prep going to happen once in the week? When is my prep going to be there for me? Okay. And how long do I have to devote to it? Because if you have, say, 2 hours, well, maybe that prep is going to look a little bit different than maybe the week that you only have an hour to do something or a half an hour. So you need to kind of not only see is when is it going to happen? How much time do I have for it to happen as well? Okay. So we're going to talk in summary. This meal prep is about support, not control. Small prep, easier meals, more consistency, better energy, right? The more consistency we have in our eating patterns, the better energy we're going to have at the end of the day. We don't want to have to stop at McDonald's. We don't want to have to call the pizza place. We don't want to have to go get the Chinese food. We want to be able to put the meal on the plate at the end of the day. Okay? Now, I'm going to move to the next slide, which is my video. Okay? It's about 15 minutes.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to my kitchen.
I'll come back in a minute.
So today we're going to talk about meal prep. And most of the I'm going to show you how.
Can you guys hear it? If somebody just responds to me, can you hear it if I mute myself? I just muted myself. Could you guys still hear it? No. Okay. So I'm not going to mute myself, but I'll put it on and I won't mute myself. I'll just be very quiet. I'm sorry. Okay.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to my kitchen. So today we're going to talk about meal prep. And most of the comments I get is that meal prep is hard. We can't do it. We don't have the time for it. So I'm going to show you how we can make some quick and easy meals without worrying about having 3 or 4 hours to do this. So what we're going to make today is we're going to make some roasted vegetables, roasted sweet potatoes, some taco meat, and some chicken. Now, the thing is that we have to get used to maybe using the chicken for more than one meal and not just thinking that every meal has to be the same thing or different all the time, that we can make this that the chicken is going to be used on salad. It can be used to make just roasted chicken and sweet potatoes. It could be used for mixed green salad with chicken on top. So it can be used for a host of different things. The tacos we can use in a taco salad. So we can do a lot of different things with it. Now, the basics of what I have. I have some roasting trays out over here, okay, to put my stuff on to roast. I have my pan getting hot here, and I have my rice cooker. Now you can do rice in here. You could do quinoa, brown rice, wild rice. Everybody who knows me or seen me or has seen me before, I always talk about using my smart carbs, right? So brown rice, quinoa, that's what we're looking for. So I did cut things up already to make life a little bit easier, okay? And what I do in meal prep a lot of times in my house, I am a family of 5. I have 3 children. We have a dog. Life gets crazy, right? So I meal prep some stuff ahead of time. I'm not going to show you the rice cooker. This is like a staple in my household right now. Because it just makes things quick and easy. I put it on. I don't have to worry about it. It goes in the corner. Rice is done. We have it for the week. So I'm going to set this over here, but it's a gadget for the kitchen I would highly recommend. And if we don't have it or if it breaks, I will have my husband go out and run out and get another one. So peppers and onions I cut up already. We're going to saute them first. Nice sizzle on a hot pan. Now, you want to do this every night. What you could do is simply wrap everything in baggies, put it in the fridge, and then that way you'll have it to just pull from and pull it out, and then just cook it right up. That way there's less cooking and less of the time that we need sometimes for dinner, right? We're coming home, we're working, we have kids going to baseball, lacrosse, soccer, volleyball, whatever it is, dance. And how are we going to get everything on the table? Now, what a quick and easy meal this would be is having maybe tacos ready in 15 minutes for fajitas, right? So if you had your chicken already done and in the fridge, and all you had to do was pull out and heat it, what you could do is just make the peppers and onions real quick that night. And then within 10 minutes, you can have all your stuff ready to go with some rice that you've already prepped as well. So again, this is about quick and easiness, okay? So in here, what I'm gonna do is I have some of my taco seasoning. This is a taco blend I make at home. I like making my own sometimes. What you could do as well, Siete is a good brand. It's a very clean brand, very clean ingredients. I would highly recommend them. But there are a lot of other ones out there. Those are just the ones that I personally use in the kitchen. And they're gluten-free. We do have gluten allergies in this house and dairy allergies, so I'm very careful sometimes of what we do use. So I'm gonna use some of my taco seasoning and put it on the fajitas here. Okay, I already salted the taco seasoning, so I won't put any more salt in, okay? So here is peppers and onion. Nice. I didn't put a lot of garlic. I didn't put any garlic in this. Sometimes my kids like it, sometimes they don't. I already have it in the seasoning. So we're just doing peppers and onions in this, okay? Now, while this is cooking, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start getting my chicken ready. So I have a family pack of chicken breast here. What we're gonna do with it is I'm gonna take my knife, and open up the chicken pack, okay? And I am not cutting it. I am not doing anything. This is my quick and easy way to do chicken breasts at home, okay? So I'm just gonna put them right in here. Throw out my trash so I don't leave a mess, right? And then what we're gonna do, okay, is we are going to put some avocado oil. Now you can use olive oil, avocado oil, whatever you want. Those are the two oils I normally go between, okay? And for my kids, they like different, a couple of different flavors. This is a flavoring that's more like adobo. And again, I'll put the recipes up so you have it. I just mix it up. Okay. Chicken's all mixed, nice and seasoned and oiled. All right, we're gonna move that over. I'm gonna take my pan over here. All set and ready. We're gonna throw the chicken pieces in here. Give this a stir with my free hands. Okay, this is gonna go right in the oven. I have my oven preheated to 400, and I'm gonna cook that chicken for about 20 minutes. Now, I've done this before where I've made the chicken in the morning while I got the kids ready for school and then put it in the fridge so we had dinner that night. So that's how simple and easy we need to make this, okay? Go in the sink with all of my other dirty dishes that I have from the morning because life is chaotic at best here. All right, so peppers and onions still working. I'm gonna do a couple more minutes on them. I like them al dente. I don't like them when they're mushy, neither do my kids. So I will make it that they're a little al dente. Cooks in just a few minutes, okay? Now, while that is going, don't be afraid to buy vegetables that are pre-cut. It makes life so, so easy. So buy them pre-cut if you feel like you do not have the time, okay? This is broccoli. One of my daughter's favorites is broccoli. So we will be doing roasted broccoli in the oven. I roasted 400, same temp as I have the chicken on for. Okay. We're gonna only roast it for about 10 minutes. And I am gonna break up this broccoli over here into little pieces. Okay, so that way everything's a little bit more uniform, so it cooks a little bit more evenly. Otherwise, you're gonna have some that are not as great as others. Okay. All right. Peppers and onions look done. So what I'm gonna do is I am gonna move them off the stove and I'm gonna get my other pan ready to go. And here it is. Don't they look great? Nice peppers and onions. You can buy in the store peppers and onions pre-cut, which is amazing. Makes life so easy. I'm gonna get my next pan started. I am using 2 pans. Normally I would put that pan, I would wash it and then, put it in. So then that way that was done and I would wash it up and we would just use 1 pan. What we're doing today, I am going to use 2 pans. So I have my sprayer over here of olive oil. I'm going to spray generously. So a really nice and crispy for the broccoli. Okay. Then I have my salt. Okay. I have my pepper, and that's all I put on broccoli. I don't put anything else on my broccoli. I just do salt and pepper. Okay. And here is the broccoli. I'm going to stick this in the oven. This is about 10 minutes. It's pretty quick in the oven. All right. So while that's cooking, what we're going to do next is we're going to get the pan hot for our taco meat. Tacos are a big hit in my house. Most people love tacos, right? I know kids do. A lot of kids do. They love tacos that they serve at school. They love tacos at home. What I'm going to do today is we're just going to make a quick taco. Nothing fancy. We're using ground turkey. I tend to use ground turkey in my house. I don't use a lot of ground beef for taco meat. My kids actually enjoy it more. And we're just going to brown this up. I do taco meat very easy. It's just browned and seasoned. We don't do things that difficult here, especially on weeknights, okay? Because again, it gets too chaotic. You cannot do it where it's overcomplicating things. Anybody who has seen me in the past probably has heard me say that a million times, right? We don't overcomplicate when we're trying to follow a diet. We don't overcomplicate cooking, right? We make things fairly easy, fairly clean in my house, okay? All right. So with that cooking up and searing up, okay, what we're going to do is take our sweet potatoes. Now, sweet potatoes here, again, I cubed them up if you can see, nice, right? I did this ahead of time. Again, having things done ahead of time is very, very efficient for meal prep. Now, what you can do is these will stay. We'll have these for lunches during the week. We'll have these for dinner. These are just going to be fantastic to have all week long. Okay. My kids love sweet potatoes. You can do these with roasted potatoes too if you want, regular white potatoes. Maybe we'll do another video soon that'll have that in it. So again, I'm going to spray this generously because we want them to crisp. And then you'll see that I'm using parchment paper on a lot of things. Now, again, I'm all about ease, right? We need to make life easy. Parchment paper means less scrubbing of the dishes. I'm all about ease. So less scrubbing is always good for me. All right. So with the sweet potatoes, all we're going to do here, again, is salt and pepper. I make things very, very simple here. Nothing too complicated. Salt, pepper, okay? And then what I am going to do is we're just going to kind of mix it up a little bit. Make sure I got enough oil on everything. If it looks dry, add a little bit more, spray a little bit more. You want to make sure everything is pretty flat on this pan too. Oops, one's getting away from me. They're running away. Okay. We're going to still mix this while I'm spraying. Anybody who's a mom would understand that we can do 2 things at once. That's why I think I could probably turn and still do the sweet potatoes with the other hand. So now what we're going to do with this meat here is now I'm going to add the seasoning that I browned it a little bit. Okay. And I will give you guys the taco seasoning blend that I make. Okay. I will give you that recipe. It's very easy. Most people probably have the ingredients in their pantry. So Very, very simple taco seasoning. What's in here, I can tell you right now, is onion and garlic. I put a little oregano because I love the taste of oregano. Um, Smoked paprika and cumin. I have a variation. Sometimes I'll put turmeric in it. I love using turmeric a lot in cooking because of its anti-inflammatory properties, but some people don't really like the taste. It can be a little bit much for some. So that's up to you to add it in or not. Okay. This is going to go right in the oven. Now, a couple of other things that we want to talk about, right? So as this goes in the oven, right, the sweet potatoes are going to go in now. Sweet potatoes are going to be everything that we have today is at 400, okay? And everything is going to cook for about, the broccoli is going to be 10 minutes. This is going to be about 20 minutes for the sweet potato and about 20 to 25 minutes for the chicken. Please check the chicken, right? Internal temperatures are important. But again, quick and easy, right? Now, don't be afraid for the vegetables, right? To use frozen vegetables if you want. You can always swap a vegetable for a vegetable, right? So if you're like, hey, you know what? My kids aren't big on broccoli. I don't like broccoli. That's okay. Don't use the broccoli. Maybe you're going to get frozen green beans, or maybe it's going to be peas, or, maybe it's going to be zucchini because maybe it's the summertime. And maybe in the summertime, it's, hey, you know what? I have a ton of zucchini growing in the garden. I cannot wait to show you guys my summer garden this summer. We will be doing some videos with that. It'll be fun. I hope you guys will enjoy it. Okay. This taco meat is almost done. Okay. Now, I hope you guys have seen today that this is pretty hands off, right? So, what did we do so far? We have our sweet potatoes in the oven, we have our chicken in the oven, and our broccoli, right? That chicken can be used for multiple things. We have our onions and peppers. Now, this could be used for fajitas, taco night. It could also be used to have roasted vegetables on a salad, right? Some sauteed veggies on a salad. This is for taco meat. So taco meat, we're going to have taco night tonight with my kids. So this is one of the things that we're going to be having. And then we're going to probably put some rice on the side. Quick and easy meals. I'm going to set a whole template up for you guys. You'll see of how we made these meals, and we can make this into 5 different meals for the week. Quick and easy. That's what we're all about here today, okay? I hope you guys liked it. Look at how good this taco meat set up in just a quick amount of time. See, we all have time just for quick and easy things in the kitchen, okay? Make it healthy, make it good. That's what we're always looking for, right? Make it healthy, make it good, make it simple. Do not make it that things are overcomplicated because we probably then won't do it. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Looking forward to hopefully sharing more with you along the way, and have a great night.
Okay, guys. So that was the video that I did. Does anybody have any questions on it? Any questions about what we talked about here tonight? Hold on, I'm gonna
Hi, everybody. Welcome to my
hold on,
kitchen.
sorry.
So
Yeah,
today we're going to talk about meal prep. And most of the time comments I get is that meal prep is hard. We can't do it. We don't
let
have
me
the
just
time
pause
for it.
that.
So I'm going to show you how we can make some quick and easy.
Okay. So, um, any questions about what we went over tonight? Let's see. So if there's no questions, I guess we will look to end the video. Hold on. Any recommendations on olive oil brands for roasting vegetables? So I kind of go between a couple of different ones. I go between, I know Smash Kitchen is one that I've recently got that I liked a lot. They have a robust flavor, which is it gives a different flavor to things. It gives it a more in-depth flavor. They have regular ones too. I utilize them, and then I can't remember the exact one. It looks like it has like a horse on it with a yellow label. Um, hmm, I'll see if I can look it up. Because I do order it from the store. Any other questions? Monica, you said you have a question? You could just type it in. Um, Terra Delisa is the other olive oil that I use, Terra Delisa. Um, any other questions, guys? Trouble finding proteins besides eggs and yogurt for breakfast. So cottage cheese is another one. That's a good one. Um, I always say too for breakfast, like let's think outside the box. So it doesn't always have to be um a cereal or pancakes or anything like that. Like you can also do if you want to do like cheese and nuts and some fruit, like that could be a good breakfast. It doesn't have to always be what we kind of want to put breakfast in a box as. So always think outside the box. Protein shake, protein powders are always good too if you do like them. If you utilize ones, you want to try to get ones that are more clean, that don't have a lot of things in them. So there are a ton of different brands on that out there. Um, it just depends upon what you want. Any other questions? Recommendations on watching cholesterol and sugar. So what I just put up there, right? What we just made with the top with the chicken, and the turkey meat, it's good for your cholesterol. There's if we're watching just sugar content, if you mean refined sugar, there's no refined sugar in any of that. There's not even refined sugar in the spices we were using because I made the spices myself. And again, I will give you those recipes. They're very easy. Um, if you're talking about things that turn into sugar in the body, like the sweet potatoes, remember if you were on our last webinar, if not, I know we have it up somewhere, or maybe we can send it out again. But what we have to look for is that if we're balancing what's going to turn into sugar in our body, like the sweet potatoes or quinoa or rice, we want to balance it with the protein and balance it with proper fiber. So as long as we're balancing everything appropriately, it's that cholesterol, that sugar content is okay to have, okay? And we're looking at cholesterol from another viewpoint too, is that if you see, I'm not frying anything. We're roasting, we're baking, we're sauteing, there's no frying of any kind. And we're using oils, olive oil, avocado oil that are better for the cholesterol as well. And where you can see the other video, I'm going to have to ask that. I think it may be on the site. Give me 1 second and I can tell you in a second. Hold on. Any other questions that you guys have? Okay, so it's on the Premiere site under my bio. And it's also on our Premiere Facebook page where the other videos are. So thank you, Dee. I appreciate it. How can I incorporate fresh spinach cooked into something? I only add in salads cold, and often it's wasted and thrown out. So, fresh spinach cooks up in a minute on the stove. I throw fresh spinach into everything. So, I'll get that big bin of fresh spinach. I grow fresh spinach as well in my garden. We utilize it all the time. What I do with it is that if we're making a chili, I throw handfuls in. If we're making soup, even chicken noodle soup, I throw handfuls in. I throw it in absolutely everything. Um, so definitely, definitely like think about it. It doesn't have to just be in a salad. Fresh spinach, you can even do like spinach with garlic and oil and do it real quick, in a saute pan on the stove. Spinach can be utilized in absolutely everything. Great source of iron, and just a great vegetable. Good omega-3s besides fish. So it's really about balance too. Like if we're talking about more of like cholesterol and finding different things like lean proteins, you're looking at lean proteins. We're looking at not frying our proteins. We're looking at using the appropriate oils. We're looking at balancing it appropriately too with our vegetables, our proteins, and our smart carbs. So that's what we really want to look where we're talking about. I never want to pigeonhole us into saying that we're only going to talk about omega-3s or just do omega-3s. Like, what's the question is like good omega-3s besides fish, right? The answer is that we really want the whole diet to be balanced because if we're just looking for omega-3s, hey, I can get that from a supplement. But we really want to look at the foods that we're taking and they're giving us everything we need. Any other questions? No, I don't see any more popping up. So I guess we're gonna call it for tonight. Thank you guys all for coming. I hope you enjoyed everything. There will be more videos to come. We are gonna hopefully put out a video a month because I enjoy this. I think this is fun. I think it's great to give you guys just general information. And I know we are looking myself, and if any of you guys are familiar with Dr. Sargio's, potentially doing a walk and talk in when the weather's nicer. It got too cold this week, and we're gonna wait till the weather's much nicer, and do a walk and talk with everybody actually outside, and can ask us some questions, especially if you wanted to ask us questions about the weight loss program. And I think we may have a webinar about that coming up too, if anybody has any questions, and he might come and join us. So please look out for more of these. I'm hopefully going to create some more cooking videos for you guys. I'm kind of getting used to it. As you can see, I was a little wonky tonight, so I'll try to get better at doing the videos and making them that they look more visually appealing and just trying to, I'm getting used to all the gadgets I have for it. So bear with me with that. But we will be definitely doing more. Thank you all and have a great night.